Hello friends and neighbors, welcome to day 2 of VEDS and Well-Read Wednesday, where I talk about books. I'm wearing my glasses because I'm talking about books and also didn't feel like putting my contacts in today. So one of my goals, pretty much always, is to become a more well-read person. I try to read as much as possible in my free time, and I try to read books that are a little bit outside of my comfort zone, things that I'm not as familiar with, things that people have recommended to me. And actually, one of my New Year's resolutions this year in 2015 was to actually finish the books that I start, because I have kind of a bad habit of A, reading too many books at the same time, and B, because of reason A, not actually finishing the books that I start very often. And at the moment, I'm reading 6 books at the same time, so you can tell I'm doing a really great job with that resolution. But never mind, I am actually going to share those 6 books with you and tell you how I feel about them thus far. So the first book I actually don't have with me right now because it's an audiobook and it's sitting in my car waiting for me to listen to it when I drive into work today, is a book that my sister has been recommending to me for years. It's Christopher Moore's Lamb. I'm almost done with this book and I'm really enjoying it for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's just funny. It makes fun of a lot of Christianity as well as a lot of other world religions. But at the same time, it also has a lot to say about the very fundamental nature of Christianity. Like, it really demonstrates a really deep understanding of what Christianity is really all about. And it's actually reminding me why I'm a Christian again. Which, when a Christopher Moore novel is reminding you why you're a Christian, that's not really saying much for how they're preaching your faith right now. So next we have another recommendation from my sister, Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, which I am about a third of the way through right now and am thoroughly enjoying. This is a book that I think I'm gonna have a hard time finishing, not because it's tough to read, but because I don't want to finish it. I don't want this book to end. The atmosphere in here is so rich and so just engaging that it's really fun and enjoyable to read, and I just don't want it ever to end, ever. And so I'm taking my time with this one. Next we have Harper Lee's Go Set a Watchman, which is her sequel that she wrote over 50 years after To Kill a Mockingbird and was finally published, telling the story of Scout yet again, but now several decades on. And I'm only a few chapters into this one at this point, but so far it demonstrates why Harper Lee is a good author. There's not much of a story yet, but then there wasn't really much of a story in To Kill a Mockingbird either for the first half of the book, so I'm sticking with it, and so far I'm enjoying the writing style and enjoying the things that she's talking about. And then we have a book that I basically found completely by accident. I stumbled upon an interesting looking cover in a bookstore and I looked at it and I looked at the author, and then I found this other book that the author wrote that looked really interesting to me based on some of the things that I'm writing. And it's called Then We Came to the End by Joshua Ferris. I'm only a few pages into this one, but so far it's an interesting writing style and an interesting idea, kind of following this group of office mates in a dying ad agency and just kind of talking about their lives and that sort of thing. So I'm interested to see where this is actually going to go. And then we've got a couple of books that I'm not actively reading right now, but I have started and we'll get back to once I finish some of these over here. First of all, we have the new book by Mark Danielewski. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his name. It's the guy who wrote House of Leaves. He wrote a new book in what he says is going to be a 27-part series. The Familiar, One Rainy Day in May, demonstrates his very textual style, his very text-centric style, kind of using text to paint a picture, like the literal arrangement of the text to paint a picture when he's writing. And it's interesting so far, and again, interested to see where he's going with it. And then finally, I've been on a bit of a David Mitchell kick lately. I've actually read 3 of his novels in the past year, Number 9 Dream, Cloud Atlas, and Black Swan Green, and I've enjoyed all 3 of them. Probably Black Swan Green was my favorite. And I'm reading his new book, The Bone Clocks, which I started a while ago and then put down, and I'm going to pick back up again once I finish some of these over here. So those are the books I'm reading right now, actually all fiction for the first time in a while. I've been kind of on nonfiction for a bit, but now I'm going back to fiction and I'm enjoying it, and hopefully you will see reviews of these books on Bandgeek 8408 at some point in the near future. But until next time, that's all I've got for you today. So tell me what you've been reading lately and what books that you have enjoyed or not enjoyed or you're trying to get through right now. So until next time, see you next time. Until next time, see you next time? Really? I gotta work on my sign-off.